What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a old Toyota 87 4-wheel drive, and we'll probably be doing a few things to this. Probably not in an order or anything, but he wants me to get it running and all this other stuff on it. It runs, but it runs rough, and you can see somebody put a Weber on it. Got some vacuum lines missing. That's probably not contributing. I mean, it's probably contributing, not contributing, but contributing to some of the idling issues and starting issues and stuff like that. They did the EGR delete on there and a bunch of other little stuff, but it does have the 22R. So it is the carbureted engine. You can see they got a lot of hodgepodge stuff on here. And we have some leaking stuff, but one thing that we're fixing today is we're actually changing the power steering gearbox, which is down there. Just have a flashlight now. I don't know what to do with it, but it lives down in here. I'll get a light so we can see better in just a second. But here is the one we got. It is a rebuilt, reman, whatever you want to call it, from O'Reilly's. Not a sponsor. That was the only place I could see who had one other than I think Rock Auto and Parts Geek. Found a flashlight that lives right down there. But like I was saying, Napa and I think Advance only had rebuild kits, and we decided to go ahead and go with a full rebuilt one already. So, but if this is a Toyota original, what we're going to do is we're actually going to keep this for whoever gets this truck. It says to use car lot. We're going to get it for whoever wants it, and then if they want to, they can rebuild the original one, because I know some people, like especially people who's going to be looking at like the older Toyota like this, going to be more of a Toyota enthusiast person, and they would probably rather have the original part so they could rebuild it and stuff like that. I know I would. But if y'all ever noticed, it says Toyota, Y-O-D-A, but kind of off topic. But yeah, we're going to be doing this, and first thing I'm going to start off by doing is I'm going to remove these two lines. One right here, and then there's one right there, and then that first line, or no, that's the second one, sorry. The second line right here I showed y'all, this one kind of wraps around and snakes and bolts down on top of it. So we're going to get both of those out of the way. You can take this hose clamp off, but you still have to remove like the little flare nut on there, just because whenever you do that, the new one doesn't come with the flare nuts on them like that, so you'll have to remove them anyway. So I'm just going to kind of leave that hooked up, clean up everything as we're going, because it is leaking out of the case itself really bad. I think a lot of it's coming from this front seal and then the section right here where the case meets each other. But, and it's got a lot of play in it as well. But we're going to remove those two lines, and then we're going to remove this jam bolt right here, and I'm going to leave the steering wheel where it is. I got a steering wheel holder, that way we don't move it around. I'll go grab it here in a minute and I'll show you what it looks like. But let me gather my tools and a steering wheel holder and stuff, and then we'll get to tearing this bad boy apart. So we're going to start out by taking this bolt that holds the holder and the line on the 12mm. It may be loose enough I can pull it off with my fingers, but it's not. I thought it was. But you want to pull that off first. Of course, it's super tight. But like I was saying, we're going to pull that off first, just so we can get this line off and we can move it out of the way. I've already checked the sizes. I haven't loosened anything up yet, but I checked the sizes on everything. And that bolt is a 12, then the bolt that holds the steering column to the steering gearbox is a 12, and then both of your flare nuts are 17s. See if I can go ahead and get that jam nut loose. I'll do it without hitting y'all. There we go. I know my arm might be in the way a little bit, but he is sorry about that. Once you get a little loose, you can about screw it out with your fingers. Just make sure that was disconnected. Come on. Your jam nuts, jam bolt, whatever you want to call it. Now we're going to break these flare nuts loose. And they weren't really, that one wasn't that tight, neither was that one. Which I didn't expect them to be super tight anyway. One thing I'm going to do is put a drain pan underneath here. That way if it does run out, if there's anything left, because I know it's making some whining noise. Oh yeah. That one still may need assistance. I don't know how long he's had this truck, but it needs a little bit of work. It's got a coolant leak somewhere too. You gotta figure out where that's coming from. Come on. Got all that tucked out of the way. Now I'm gonna get like a pry bar or something, and we're gonna stick it in here, and I'm just gonna pull back, try to get the splines to unseat. She is not wanting to move. Figured that it had a slip joint up here, but it's not moving a lot. Well, all we may have to do is when we drop it down is just kind of let it come off of the splines itself. Let me show you the steering wheel holder real quick, and I'll show you how we got it held in place. That's the steering wheel holder that we have. It comes with like the little quick trick alignment kit thing, and holds it pretty good. But now I'm going to lift her on up, and we're going to get in through here. This is the front tire. Have to move some of that, and we'll have to break the pitman arm loose on here, and we'll try to keep it lined up where it's supposed to go. So we're underneath now, and we'll have to take this big nut right here off. That is a 32, and then after you get that off, you have to use a puller, pull off the pitman arm. Then you'll have 3 17mm bolts, and after that we should be ready to pull her out. So let's take that big nut off first. Get on it. That. And we're going to use a pitman arm puller. This is the heavy duty version. Always put NCs on your threads. Just a good practice. I know it gets everywhere, but still easier to clean your hands of NCs than it is to place a tool sometimes, and it's a lot cheaper. Okay, we should be on it now. I knew it was going to pop like that. Just waiting for it. Now, all we got to do is take these 3 17s out and should be able to pull it off. Not sure if these were 17s on the back or not. Watch out, there is a washer. I'm going to keep all these together. And if you wanted to change your pitman arm, now would be a good time to do that as well. Next thing, we'll drop this belly pan off too. It should be like 4 12 millimeters. With the belly pan moved, I can actually get to these 2 nuts on the back now. But now be careful when you pull this one, it may move on you. Now we got all 3 of them off. Let's see about getting this right here. Should pull out. So we got the pump on right now. I didn't put this in yet, but I'm gonna try to. I still haven't tried to slide it back. I'm gonna wait till I get it back on the ground before I do that. If anything, I cause it plus. I want to make sure that the steering wheel is still straight. We did put pitman arm on and got these bolts. I did not see a bolt torque for these right here. I did have a torque for everything else though. So on the pickup trucks 4-wheel drive, what you're going to do is you got to torque this between 116 and 137 foot-pounds. I have my torque wrench set at 125, so that's kind of what we're going to go with. And this may turn on you. If it does, it'll be alright. You can always turn it back. And there we go. 125.8. I'm just going to do it one more time just to be safe. Alright, 125.5. Do it one more time just for good measure. Yeah. So we should be good on that now. So we got that on, and now I'm just going to put the tire back on, lower it down. Well, I got to put the cover back on first, but put the cover, put the tire on, lower it back down, and we'll try to line that back up. So after fighting this thing for about 15-20 minutes, I just finally decided to go ahead and take the rag joint off. The slide portion of this just was not happening. So I know where this needs to go. The slit right here on mine needs to go even with, there's a little slit right here on the top, that little, like a little notch portion, and it goes up and one of them's like almost dead center, and that's where mine goes. So I'm going to try to move this out of the way if I can, and I'm going to line this up the best I can with that. That seems about right there. And I'm going to have to hammer this down as far as I can. And now I can put the slide bolt through there, pinch bolt, whatever you want to call it, through there. And that right there torques to 32 foot-pounds. So I'm going to put that in, torque it down real quick. And then I'm going to put the rag joint back on. And then after we do that, I'm going to make sure my steering wheel is straight too. And then we'll put the lines on there, but I'll show you all that stuff after I get the rag joint and the pinch bolt in there. Got it back on now, and then I'm just going to get a pair of pliers apparently. Because those are in there pretty good. There we go. There we go. Alright, now let's get these lines back on. Yes, I do have to clean them. I haven't cleaned these yet. Oops, and I'll probably move y'all all around. And get it started. That's it right there. I hate it when it's like that, too tight to do it with your fingers, but pretty loose on the wrench and a ratchet. I don't know how much of this y'all can actually see, but before I tighten it all the way down, I'm going to put this support bolt back in the bracket. That's a 12, not a 17. Make sure that's tight. Here's our one. Thread it in. Off of there. Alright. Let me clean all that off, then we gotta use the jump box because the battery's pretty much dead in this thing too. But I'm gonna put some, I've already drained all the fluid out here too. There was a little bit still on line, but I'll drain whatever's left in the reservoir and stuff, which that's what you're propped up on. But we'll drain that, and then I'll put some new fluid in there, and then I'll show you how I'm going to blend it. So we got it running. Like I said, she's running a little rough, and you can see how smoky it is in here. But I'm just gonna go over what I did to do it, cause that's a lot of exhaust fumes in here. I gotta get a fan and blow it all out. But what I did, I just cranked it up, got in there, and I just turned it all the way to the left and all the way to the right. I just kept doing that as the fluid kind of bled all the air out. And now she's turning pretty good. Let me try to get in there and I'll show y'all. Like I said, it's super smoky in here with the exhaust. And you can see straighten the tire up. And it's pretty straight now. But let me go in for a second. I got something I gotta do. All right, sorry about that. But I'll show y'all the part number real quick on this, and then I'm gonna close out the video. Where is it? Some Master Pro, got it from O'Reilly's. Not a sponsor, it's just who was able to get it. Part number is 511-0102 Reman power steering gear. But I'll put that up in the description below as well, and try to find like an affiliate link for y'all. But that's pretty much put one of these on. If anybody knows torque specs for the bolts that hold it on, I couldn't find it. But if y'all know it, just let me know. And if you got any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comment section. I get to them as soon as possible. Thank you to everybody who subscribes and members and all that stuff. And y'all remember, torque is tight. Y'all have a great day.